I get it. When you're staring at the price tag of an electric bike, you're wondering if you'll actually use it enough to make it worth the cash, or if you'll end up with a pricey coaster that just sits in the garage. You've probably thought about the last time you tried to sprint up a hill on a regular bike and how sweaty that made you feel. Or maybe you've been stuck in traffic and dreamed about cruising past the Stopanko with a quiet hum under you. That hesitation is exactly why I'm breaking down the Jasion Roamer ST before you click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the Roamer ST isn't trying to be a tiny fold-up commuter. It's a full-size 26-inch machine that feels more like a traditional mountain bike that just happens to have a motor. The motor is a 1200-watt brushless unit, UL 2849 certified, which means it's been tested for safety and can handle sustained power without overheating. In everyday terms, that translates to a confident push when you're tackling a steep neighborhood hill or when you need a little extra zip to merge onto a bike lane that's moving at 20 miles per hour. The top speed is quoted at 28 miles per hour, but in most cities you'll find yourself cruising comfortably around 2022 miles per hour before the motor eases off to preserve battery life. Speaking of battery, the Roamer ST ships with a 48-volt 11Ah removable pack that the manufacturer claims can get you up to 62 miles on a single charge. Real-world riders will quickly learn that the range is very much a function of how hard you lean on that motor. If you're riding at a steady 15 miles per hour on flat streets with minimal assist, that 62-mile figure is realistic. Push the motor up to 25 miles per hour, add a headwind, or lug a small cargo rack, and you'll see the range drop to the 3,040-mile zone. The fact that the battery is removable is a genuine convenience. You can take it indoors to charge, which is a nice safety feature for apartments that don't have a dedicated bike storage space. Now, let's talk about the ride feel. The bike comes with two 61.95-inch tires and a front suspension fork. Those wider tires give you a stable platform on mixed pavement and light gravel, and the fork smooths out potholes you'll inevitably hit on a city commute. However, there's no rear suspension, so if you regularly ride on rough trails, you'll feel every bump through the seat post. For most urban commuters or suburban riders, that's a fair trade-off because the front fork adds a little weight but keeps the cost down. The 7-speed drivetrain sits behind the motor, so you still have the ability to downshift when you're on a long, steep climb or want to conserve battery. In practice, many riders find they can stay in the middle gears and let the motor do most of the work, using the gears mainly as a safety net. The braking system is dual disc, which is a solid choice for a bike that can reach near 30 mph. When you hit the brakes, you get a firm, predictable stop even in wet conditions. Some cheaper electric bikes rely on rim brakes that can fade under heavy use. The Roamer ST's discs avoid that issue. Pair that with an intuitive LCD display that shows speed, battery level, distance, and assist mode, and you have a clear picture of how the bike is performing without having to glance down at a phone. One of the quieter value points is the lighting package, 180 lumens of night lighting spread across front and rear LEDs. That's more than enough to see and be seen on low-light streets, and because the lights are integrated into the frame's power system, you don't have to worry about swapping batteries. The lights automatically turn on when you start moving, which is a small convenience that adds up on early morning rides. So, who should consider buying this bike? If you're a commuter who lives 1,015 miles from work and wants to shave half an hour off a car or bus ride, the Roamer ST hits a sweet spot. The range, once you factor in realistic usage, comfortably covers a round-trip commute plus a short grocery run. If you're a weekend explorer who likes to hit nearby hills or forest trails and appreciates a motor that can give you that extra push without feeling like you're on a scooter, the 1200W motor and 7-speed gears give you the flexibility to stay in control. Riders who value safety certifications and a pre-installed lighting system will also appreciate the UL 2849 badge and the built-in night lights. Conversely, the bike isn't ideal for a city dweller who needs a compact, foldable solution for cramped apartments or for someone who rides mostly on flat, paved bike lanes and prefers a low-profile, minimalist design. The front-and-leaf suspension means you'll still feel rough surfaces, which could be a turnoff for hardcore trail riders who expect full suspension comfort. If you're on a tight budget, the Roamer ST sits in a mid-range price tier. You can find cheaper commuter bikes.